Good morning, everybody. I am using a new tool called StreamYard this morning for our live. So bear with me because new stuff, but I love new tools. So I learned about it actually on a podcast this week. I was a guest on somebody's podcast, and his name is Mal, and he's from the Growth Execution podcast. They have a group on Facebook. So yeah, it was really fun. So yeah, the StreamYard, you literally just connect it to the group. So I'm checking. I don't see that it's live yet in the group, but let's see. Bear with me, guys. We love technology. Let's see something. Hope everybody's doing well today. It's Friday. Freelance Friday. Fridays we learn. Okay, good. I am live according to my thing here. Okay, perfect. So first, I want to talk about the rise in COVID cases. Holy cow, right? I was there at the hospital last night, and it was crazy. Like code intubation, code blues, just all over the place. So I know you all are stressed out there. I'm here to hopefully alleviate some of that by talking about this little side gig, but please don't feel overwhelmed that you need to start something immediately. I know it's hard on those front lines right now. In OB, and I don't know if any of you guys work in OB, but in OB we've had to float to be helping hands. So we do an aid role in a sense, but just helping those nurses. They actually just initiated it. So I'd done it in the past for flu season and stuff, but this is new for the COVID time. And I guess we're not taking care of just COVID patients. It's mostly the other patients. So we shall see how that goes, my friends. So today we're talking all about the types of writing that you can do as a health writer. And I will actually link to a few of my friends that are resources for you at this point. But first, let's just start. So there's 6 types of writing that I've come up with the help of some research, so I didn't forget any. And what you can do as a health writer, or as any writer, really, any freelance writer. I have my little notes here, so if I'm looking off to the side, that's why. So the first one is the one that I feel like I specialize in the most, and many of you in the group specialize in the most, and that is web content writing. And with web content writing, it is all different types of web writing. So you can use articles that we post, that I give the writers in the insiders group, the clients that I have there. Those are all web content. Also, web content kind of encompasses the social media side. So if you are doing content for social media, whether that's Facebook posts, Instagram posts, Twitter or Facebook or whatever social platform you're on, that's all still web content writing. But you can repurpose a lot of those articles into the social media kind of stuff. So that's what's nice about web content writing. It's a lot of reproduction. The other type of writing for web writing is web page, or even with articles, copywriting. So copywriting is different than just article writing because it's more talking about the customer's emotions and them purchasing. So my friend Nikki Croswick, she was on our podcast, and she has a course just for copywriters. Now this isn't health copywriting, this is all different types of copywriting. So she has, I'm going to link to her episode because it gives you even more insight about copywriting. Oh, can I not put a comment in here? Well, then heck, I'm going to have to open Facebook on another tab. Pop in there because I have a lot of resources to give you guys today. So Nikki, she has built her millions of dollar business off one product, and it's this product that I'm going to link to you guys if you're interested in copywriting. Copywriting also shows up in web emails. So like if you are doing, any newsletters you get, that's all copywriting. So there's the link to her podcast episode. And then this is the link that she's given us for the comprehensive copyright course. And it's just, saying how to land some freelance copywriting work. So let's throw that in there so you can have that. Okay. She had a really exciting episode. If you didn't get to listen to that one, it's a good one. The other person that has helped me out with some copywriting resources is my friend Michelle over at the Health Writing Hub. She specializes in courses for writing related to medical and health. And you're probably like, well, Janine, why would you highlight your competition, right? She's not my competition. She has her own thing, and it's mostly focused on writing. Now, she gave us this copywriting course link because it's called the Principles of Health and Medical Copywriting, because it has to do with health and medical. So this might be one, if you're really interested in health writing, something you might want to check out. That's the Health Writer Hub. And I'm hoping to get, I will be getting, we already discussed that we're going to be doing this, but we're going to be getting her on the show this coming year, so she can share some awesome tips with you guys for writing in general. So if you ever have questions about that, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm pulling up my new notes here so I don't keep looking away for you guys. Sorry if you guys hear my dogs. There must be a deer outside. This is a little off topic, but that's okay. I'll reel us back in. I had a guest on the podcast yesterday who's from Australia, and it was so cool because he was telling me, like, okay, here in Ohio, we have like birds, right? We have like robins and like sparrows and like little, cardinals, blue jays, and they come and they eat off our bird feeder. He was telling me how these big white parrots come to his yard and feed off the almonds in the almond tree. I'm like, I am so sheltered. How cool is that, right? I mean, that is like so neat to see this big old parrot. I wish I had a big parrot come to my yard. So anyway, told you I'd reel us back in. So that's our first type of writing. The second type, well, I'm still going to back up into the web copy because there's also SEO writing. And SEO is search engine optimization. Now, you can include this in your articles to make yourself a little more elevated in the space and to be able to charge more money. But SEO is truly a specialization, and it comes with education and specialization. Like, you have to really know it and know the formula behind it. The other thing is you can be a social media manager. And as a manager, you can, really dive into the social media space. So here's a link to my friend Gina Horkey. She has a whole bunch of different courses that you could check out. And they have social media management, email management, Pinterest management, project management type of courses. And Gina, too, was also on our show. I'll link to her too, because she had some great insights on becoming a VA, which can include some of those services. And this is kind of cool because you can always add to your health writing career by even adding this different service. Okay, the second one, let me drink my coffee here. The second one is technical writing. So technical writers take complex descriptions and explanations and make them easier to read. Sometimes they turn it into layman's terms, really, I don't want to say dummy it down, but really dummy it down. And they make user manuals. So think about the recent medical equipment you might have had at work and how you had to learn to use it. Maybe there's no educator. Maybe there's nothing no one who has actually come to you to actually teach you it, and you had to actually just look at a user manual. And maybe you loved it and you're like, oh my gosh, this makes it so easy. There's pictures, there's description. Guess what? Somebody had to write that. And usually it's a health writer because they understand the industry. So you could write stuff like that. To me, sounds kind of boring, right? But then you think about it, it can almost be like the next type of writing I'm talking about is instructional writing. You could really educate your user on their product with a user manual. So educational writing, this is the writing that focuses obviously on education. So you could create courses, textbooks, workshops, tutoring materials, exam prep materials. And when I say exam prep materials, I'm talking about my friend Deanna Gillingham. Deanna and I are in a mastermind together, and she was also on my podcast. Let me give you a link to her show. She was on with me, and she actually has her own podcast. If you're not subscribed, it's called The Stay-at-Home Nurse. Okay, hello, Jupiter. Jupiter always wants to make a guest appearance, doesn't she? Get down, sweetie. Okay, so stay-at-home nurse. So what Deanna did was take her. She wanted to become a case manager in the nursing world. So she's like, I'm going to study, become a case manager. But what happened was she couldn't find anything to study from. So she's like, okay, well, I'm going to make something to study from. So she did. She made up her own study guide, and it took her hours, right? And it was after work and she was tired. But guess what? She made this awesome product that still sells to this day. And she's done many revisions now to stay with the content of the test. She's partnered even with the test companies to provide, an awesome product for people who want to do this. And then she's made courses out of it and really doing extremely well. You guys, she lives in Mexico. I mean, how cool is that? And she goes on the Caribbean Sea like all the time in her kayak. I mean, that's like the life, right? So if you have an idea like that, how cool would it be? And you should connect with Deanna. She'd be more than happy to help you launch that and get that idea out on paper. The fourth type of writing is business writing. So business writers, health writers, they have a lot of fast deadlines when it comes to the business world. Usually they have white papers they need to produce, which are really long content papers, press releases, which really are timely kind of things that really announce something that's going on in the industry. They do pamphlets for patients. They do speeches, for different keynote speakers and whatnot, advertisements, and more. So they usually have these as full-time roles. That doesn't mean that there's not some one-off projects that freelancers can do, but usually companies want someone in-house to really feel their industry, feel their product, feel their company. So that's business writing. The next type of writing, I need coffee. I'm so tired, guys. I was at the hospital till like midnight last night. I've been up for a while. Newspaper writing. So are there really that many newspapers out there anymore? No, but a lot of the news is on the internet, and there still needs to be people that write that timely, fast, actionable kind of content for the news. So they are. Now, I've seen these as remote roles, but they have strict hours, so it's not very flexible. They want their writers awake and working at like 5 a.m. so they can get the news out there. They also specialize in their own type of writing because they have to do a lot of interviews and a lot of sourcing. So again, this one you can really do like full time because it's always changing, right? Somebody who's on the coronavirus stuff right now, they are up early, working late, but they're amazing. Obviously, what they do, they're giving us that up-to-date information all the time. The next one and final one is a ghostwriter. And when I was first starting out as a freelancer, I had no idea what a ghostwriter was. Again, I didn't even know what freelancing was really because I'm a nurse. Why would I know that? And I learned that ghostwriting is actually very profitable if you want it to be. A lot of people, like, you can look at ghostwriting a couple ways. Some people are like, why would you ever ghostwrite? Why would you ever want to do that for somebody else. And what ghostwriting is you are writing for somebody else under somebody else's name. So if you were ghostwriting for me, you go on the Savvy Scribe podcast website, go onto the blog, and write an article, and it would say that I wrote it. Well, why would anybody do that? Well, usually you get paid more, for one. The second is to just write, right? You just are looking for some extra money. But these aren't projects that I tell people to start with. So if you're starting in the freelance world, don't start ghostwriting, because you got to get a portfolio going and such. So ghostwriting down the road, but definitely don't count it out, because I've done ghostwriting myself. Yeah, ghostwriters, they don't just do articles, they do a whole bunch of things. People have had their books ghostwritten. They have an idea and they just want somebody to write it because they're not writers, or even writers. They have someone write their book for them because they don't have the time. Maybe they have the idea, they don't have the time. So they'd rather pay somebody to do it. So the best thing to do, coffee. The best thing to do with all these types of writing that I have told you is balance your projects and do what you like to do. So, for example, I like to write blogs. I like to do those articles, but I also like to do educational stuff. I love to do courses. This past year, I wrote for Lippincott and Walter Kluwer through Relias, wrote some of their courses, and it's awesome, because it's right in my niche of OB. But towards the end of both of those projects, I was like, all right, I'm ready to be done with this one. So it's kind of cool when you just have all different types of stuff that you're bouncing between. Now, you might not be that kind of person. You might like to stick with one type, and that is totally fine. Whatever floats your boat, right? That's what's so cool about this type of work, is that it's always, you can do whatever you want all the time. It's your business. You do whatever you want. The other thing to do is, if you really enjoy, for example, the article writing, the key is to get a permanent client or a retainer. And a retainer is somebody that you're getting $1,000 a month to write X number of blog articles. That is retainer. You're getting it next month. And you'll know that you're getting it month after month after month after. Usually you sign a 12-month contract. So when you sign a 12-month contract, for the next 12 months, you're going to get paid $1,000 from that client. Now, ideally, we want all of our clients to do this, right? But they may not have the budget to do it. We're in this coronavirus era. A lot of companies are struggling. So you might not get the retainer that you want. So retainers are great. One-off projects are also great that are longer. You're going to work on it for the next 4 months or so. In the next 4 months, you're going to be able to get money from that client. So mix it up, try and get some retainers, and you'll build your business. I hope you guys had a great week. Oh, my shop. Did you see my shop? I was so excited that I had to just share it. So here's my shop again. If you guys need some tools, and this is honestly the tools I use in my business every single day. Proposal template. Okay, not every day I don't do a proposal, but wouldn't that be nice? Proposal template, and this is how I land clients, the exact wording. New client questionnaire. Again, not every day do I get a new client calling me, but I actually have one today. So later today, somebody already filled out this form. My digital planner. Now this I'm using every single day. I have to create a video for you guys to walk through it if you have an iPad, because I really want to do that. I just have to think about how I'm going to do it without it looking upside down. So that's coming. And then the Health Writing Business Launch Checklist is also something I've used, obviously, to launch my business, but I didn't have all those tools because I was doing it from the ground up and I didn't really know what I was doing. So that is how to do it after I've already, I don't want to say failed, but I took the long way to get there. I am also going to be adding, I want to tell you guys what I'm adding to it today in case you're interested. And along the way, we're going to be adding more and more. There's some social media stuff coming, some SEO stuff coming. My computer's running slow. I apologize. It's just because I'm live. Structuring a blog post is coming, so that'll be a printable. Just, how to really do that in an SEO kind of way. Not really incorporating too much SEO, but just the format itself. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm also sorry this week, my podcast, if you guys are subscribed, it like messed up launching some of them. So the one that says Debs is actually coming next week, and it's going to actually have a title. Just kind of like what I do to get it onto the hub, and it got published on accident. So that's okay. It's going to be published for real next week. And next week I'm going live. And what's our topic next week? Next Friday. I love doing these freelance Fridays with you guys. Do you like them? I hope you like them. I hope you're learning something. If you guys have any questions, please post them in the group. We have such a great group of helpful people. So next week we are going to go live with the positive sides of freelancing, right? So that'll be fun. I love positivity. All right, guys, stay well out there. If you have any questions, just post them in the group. Hope you enjoy all these resources. Hope you're getting what you need out of our group, and I will talk to you soon. Cheers to coffee. You always get it real on Fridays too. Take care.